Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Apollonia Cross, and today I am so excited and also forgot, but God's timing is always amazing. But today is International Women's Day, and so I'm so excited to be going over these 5 lessons on evolving into that woman with you guys today. We're going to be diving into the book of Proverbs, and we all know the woman in Proverbs 31, like the ultimate woman, right? She's a business owner, she's an investor, she is a mother, she is a wife, she works, she rises early and stays up late, and all of the things. And we all all of us women have this idea on who she is. It's clearly laid out biblically, but then also we internalize those aspirations to become her and be her, right? But sometimes our feelings get in the way, the fear, the imposter syndrome, the intimidation, all of those things can get into the way. And then we can start feeling like I'm not enough. I'll never be able to get there. And depending on the season of life that you're in, especially if you're a mama like me, you have littles, or maybe you also have bigger kids like I do too. But like you are in the thick of motherhood and you are literally in survival mode, right? Like we've all been there. Or maybe you might be a woman who you might not have kids yet, but you're wanting to become that wife of noble character, to eventually have a husband and have children, whatever. These 5 lessons that I'm going to be sharing with you today from the book of Proverbs that I was able to receive, I wanted to share with you guys to help you and help all of us, because I'm gonna be the first one to tell you I'm not perfect, but to help us all evolve into becoming that woman. So if you guys are excited as I am to jump into this chapter and to jump into these lessons, let me know in the comments below. I will check them periodically. And let me know if you're watching from Facebook or if you are watching from YouTube. Let me know either way. I cannot wait to connect with you guys and share with these lessons with you. So if this is your first time tuning with me, welcome. My name is Apollonia, and I am a lifestyle and wellness coach who specializes in teaching mompreneurs how to manage and improve their self-care through wellness planning and faith journaling so that they can rediscover their greatness while healing their mind, body, and soul without using antidepressants. And so, like I said, I am very passionate about what it is that I do. And I love encouraging women and supporting them on their journey into growth and fullness and creating an overall healthy lifestyle, because it's great to get into the bikini and, the skinny jeans and all the things, but it's so much more impactful and powerful in developing and growing into who you were truly meant to be. So let's go ahead and dive right into these. So if you guys have your Bible, let me know. I'm just curious. Are you more of a journaler or a planner? And or maybe just a notebook person? Let me know what it is that your favorite tool is to use when you are taking notes, or if you just like me, you have like a catch-all system and always keep some note pages in the back. I always am taking notes all the time. My mind is just always going. So I always need some scratch paper, or even on my phone, I use the Google Keep app to jot down whatever pops in my head if I'm not able to write. So just curious, let me know what it is that you guys use, and let's go ahead and dive right in. So I am going to be reading to you Proverbs 31:10. And this is coming from the Passion Translation version. Now, you could totally use whatever version of the Bible you want to. It does not matter. But this is one of my favorites. And I feel like it's a lot more relevant to where we are right now, in just wording and stuff. Some of y'all who could rock with the King James, power to you. I need it in regular current time talking. So, yep, here is the verse. It is, whoever could find a wife like this one. She is a woman of strength, mighty valor, and she's full of wealth and wisdom. And this, I feel, it's such an amazing scripture, and it's very simple. We're only going to be diving into this one verse because the reason being, a lot of times I told y'all I'm a mama, so y'all gonna hear my children. Yes, honey. One moment. Okay.
Why is not letting me hold the phone today?
Okay. Well, you're the big sister. Why don't you go sit over there and just sit and chill with her, okay? Thank you.
I know, but I'm the big sister who.
But you don't want to fight with her.
I want to
listen. Look at me.
No,
look at me.
I was trying to do in the bathroom.
This is not the time. Please, I already told you. Okay. If you really don't want to fight, then you can go on Alexa for a little bit. Okay.
I really don't want to fight.
Then okay, go on Alexa. That's okay.
Mommy, on you, Alexa?
Yes. Nope, not on my Alexa. Go downstairs in the kitchen. Y'all, mom life never ends. Okay. All right, y'all. I keep it real on here. I'm telling you, I keep it real. But anyways, like with this verse, like this one really resonated with me because the first thing was whoever could find a wife like this one. Like, I feel like that is so powerful, and that's something to really think about, is because we're always trying to find, like, within ourselves, right? We may be always in comparing ourselves to other women and trying to find, like, okay, I want to be like her. No, I want to be like her. I want to be like this. I want to be like that. But you're not going to find this perfect ideal woman, okay? You're not. So I really wanted to bring that point up so that way we can stop trying to find ourselves in other people and work on finding and becoming ourselves, okay? That was something so big. I know on my own personal journey, like, we start to kind of get into our heads. It's natural and that's okay. But then there is that point to where you're like, you know what? No, I'm going to focus on becoming my best self. And that's how you know that you're finally stepping into evolving into that woman, because now you are focusing and honing in on developing who you were always meant to be, instead of trying to becoming this picture perfect woman that we have here in the Bible, which #goals, right? But this is a process. It's a journey. It's not going to be all in a one-step thing. All right. It's not. Okay. So when we fall into that comparison trap, it can cause us to spiral down, instead of what we're needing to do is spiral up. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into these very specific 5 lessons before I go on a whole entire rant. But let me see if there's any comments real quick. Tina says she has a catch-all system. Right. I love a catch-all system for daily planning only, but my brain, I've already talked about this on other videos, it just does not, I cannot be great with all of the tabs of my life in a physical planner when all the tabs in my brain are open like that. So I need a physical separation of my brain. And that's why I use a bunch of planners, but love it. Welcome on, Tina. So glad that you're here. So let's go ahead and get into these 5 lessons. Now, the very first one, like I already kind of talked about it, but you don't find a woman of character. You evolve into being a woman of character, right? You evolve into recognizing your values, or knowing your worth and your value, and also having self-respect for yourself, for others, and character. I don't know why my brain just forgot me, but you find a woman of character, you don't find a woman of character. Jesus, help me out here, because my brain is not working. But you evolve into being her. And when you do that, you find this peace and this acceptance and this embracing of who you are and who you were always meant to be, right? So, like I already kind of talked about, stop looking for other people to show you how. There's nothing wrong with finding a mentor, finding a business coach, finding another mom who's raised her kids and is happy and doing well. Nothing wrong with gaining wisdom from other women who've walked their journey, but you have to remember at the end of the day, you have your own journey to walk through, and you have to, at one point, stop trying to do and be like everyone else and say, okay, now it's time for me to evolve into that. Okay. So now the second one is value and use what you have to pour back into yourself and your family. Um, this one really stood out to me because if you go deeper into, as you read, if you decide to go ahead and read the full on, you know, verses of the Proverbs 31 woman, she started with what she had, right? Like she used her hands, she used those things. And sometimes people take that very literally, like, okay, she was a crafter, she sewed and all of those things, but that's not necessarily true. Okay. There's so many ways to use your hands, but it really just is representing like value what you got and use that to get you to where you're going. Okay. What, maybe it's not your hands, maybe it's your voice, maybe it's your knowledge. Like use what you got and evolve that, okay? And just value that, because sometimes we feel like, again, getting into that comparison trap. I don't have this. I don't I just need this. I want this. If I had this, then I could, right? We get into that trap. No, value and use what it is that you got. It doesn't matter how big or how small. Start with what you got and then work on making that more. Okay. So, number 3, messed up my notes. Recognize your own personal value by discovering your gifts and developing your skills, right? And this is a process. Like, this is a process. Because again, first thing is recognizing like you're evolving into this woman. So you're going to stop looking at everyone else. Now you got to be like, okay, what do I have to offer? Like, what am I really good at? What kind of comes naturally to me? And maybe it is, you can take a class and to help you develop that skill. Maybe you love to learn and you love to share with people. So maybe it's getting a degree and becoming a teacher or, whatever else. But whatever your gifts are and your skills are, appreciate those because those are given. You may not think it's so valuable to yourself because it's so small, right? Like to us, we feel like our gifts and the things that we like to do are like, oh, it's just something I do, right? We downplay ourselves, especially as us women. We downplay our value so much. Unfortunately, it's just conditioning. And, we want to be humble. There's nothing wrong with being humble, but there's also nothing wrong with being proud of the things that you do and like, yeah, I do this, like, and being excited about that. Value yourself. It doesn't matter how small it is. Are you the best bed maker? Girl, make that bed, okay? Karate chop them pillows, put some garnish or some decoration, do whatever you're doing. And especially in today's world, show us all how to make a bed. Like beautiful, okay? Show us, because half of us got dirty laundry and stuff on our bed and pillows all flat. Like we want them fluffy too. Share that with us. If that's what you got, that's your skill, that's your gift, share it, okay? If you know how to throw down in the kitchen, honey, share your gifts, okay? Drop the recipe. Make a meal for someone else. Like there's other mamas who are just trying to make it. Make a meal for someone else. You can sell them if you wanted to, or you can just give it. Like value those things, value those unique things and skills and gifts about yourself and appreciate them. Okay. And so now let's go into lesson number 4. This one, y'all, this one right here. Value your time and use it wisely. Wisely, okay? This one, especially in the world of distraction and shiny objects and shiny people and all of the things, we can very easily waste our time, right? Very, very easily. And sometimes it's granted because we are so busy, right? We're so busy. We got so much going on. We need a little bit of time to like break from the chaos and just kind of numb out a little bit. It's natural and that's okay. But when you start to shut everything else off and stop trying to look out and try to be this, do this, whatever, and you start to hone in on trying to focus on doing and being your best, becoming the Proverbs 31 that you want to be, or not becoming the Proverbs 31, but becoming the Proverbs 31 woman that you want to be and that you're called to be, you need to value the time that God gives you. Because he all gives us 24 hours in a day, but we got to stop treating it like it's nothing, right? And focusing all on the money, because yes, money is great, but it's just a tool. The greatest value that you have is the time, okay, that you're given. Like that is the very first thing. So when you value your time, right, you don't waste it giving and pouring into people who don't value your time either, right? And it's not that you need to be rude or disrespectful, but you're just like, I can't pour my energy into this because this is where I'm focusing on. Right? I can't help you with this because this is what I'm doing. It's not that I don't like you and I don't appreciate you, but I'm just pouring into myself because this is where I'm going, right? Like it's difficult for us to say no, but when you start to recognizing your time and you want to make sure that you're not wasting it on things that aren't really going to get you to that level of the woman that you want to be, you start shutting some of those things down and you're like, yeah, no, I don't need to do this. No, it's okay, right? It's okay. I'll have to catch you guys on the next one when I have more time and I'm more available. And I can do that, right? But right now, in this season where I'm focusing on, this is where I'm going. This is where my journey's at, okay? So let's go into number 5. Now, this one is recognizing what stage and season of your journey you are in and be actively present in it, okay? And this one I really wanted to share because I feel like a lot of us, because we are very ambitious and we want to do all of the things, right? We have no problem getting in, wanting to hustle, start this project, start that class, we got the kids in this, blah, blah, blah. Like we are the ultimate natural multitaskers because we'll be checking a child's homework, in the middle of a call, trying to cook dinner and have a kid on the hip. Okay. Like it's just what that is. But sometimes we can actually take on way too much and burn ourselves out. So this is a great lesson for us to recognize and learn is understand the season of life that you are in right now, be okay with that and work with, again, tailoring it back to another lesson is work with what you got and where you're at to help you get to the next season. So if you have a bunch of littles and you have a business or you want to even get back in shape, I reference business and I reference fitness a lot in my videos, but it's valid, right? Like some of us, we have this idea like, oh, okay, right after I pass my 6 weeks of having the baby, I'm gonna go ahead and get back into the gym. I'm gonna get my snatch back and blah, 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 blah. Or for my ambitious mompreneurs, you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna miss a beat in my business. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna advance this and da 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 da. Like that's great to want to do that. But you're also, especially if you don't have the help and the support to help you watch the baby, the time, the nutrition that you need to put into your body so that way you have the energy to do the things. You have someone helping you with the kid to feed the child and all of the things. Like you're trying to be at a different position in your life than what you're at. Fallen prey to this. I'm just, and then we find ourselves crashing and burning in the tears, in the snot, in the overwhelm, in the stress, because we tried to jump way too far ahead instead of focus on being present and working with what you got, right? So not to say that you cannot work on your fitness goals in an extremely busy and demanding season of life, and not to say that you cannot focus on your business goals in an extremely busy and distracting season of life, especially if you're a mom. Like you can, but you're not going to be making them big, gigantic moves like what you think or you see other people do. Maybe right now it's just creating content, or maybe right now it's first off making sure you're getting the proper sleep and nutrition in your body because you got hormone changes going on. You're not sleeping consistently because you're up and down waking up a kid, or maybe your kids are a little bit older, but they're constantly in the bed kicking you in your back. True story. Okay. That was the last night, right? Like you have to be honest with yourself of what stage of life that you're in and the season of life that you're in, and focus on what you can do right now in this season. Be grateful for it, actively be present in where you're at, and work on what you can do in that season. And I feel like this one is really, really, really big because within that, you'll be able to feel comfortable and actually feel more work of a place of overflow to where you're like, okay, yeah, no, I got my water in today. Take today. I did yoga today. Or, I walked around the neighborhood with the baby while she was asleep. Just on that. Or like, great, I made this networking thing. Great. I booked one discovery call. Perfect. I created this new graphic for a t-shirt that I wanted. Like, celebrate all of the little stuff that you can do right now, and watch over time. You will evolve into, now you're making the big moves. Now you're speaking on conventions. Now your products are being sold in stores. Now you're about to do a bikini competition, right? Like, it starts with where you're at and the small steps that you're making and building on those blocks. Okay. And so my question to you guys is this now is take some time to really 5 to 10 minutes, however you feel the need to, but take this time and to take this journal prompt with you today and ask yourself, what stage and season of my journey am I in? Right? Like, and allow yourself that ability to really just don't give yourself a quick, simple answer, but really, really dive in and ask yourself, get as detailed as you want to. And the more detailed that you can get, the more clarity you will receive. You will receive. This is exactly why with my one-on-one coaching clients, I start first before we even start planning on getting you fit and all of those types of things. First, we need to figure some things out. Like, this is why journaling is so important, because before you can know where you're going, you got to know where you're at. It's just, you got to know where you're at. You don't know the starting point. So really ask your guys' self that day and this week, what stage and season of my journey am I in? And see where that takes you. And hopefully that will also give you a little bit of insight too on maybe, if this is where I am at, now you could say, okay, these are the steps that I need to take in order to get to where I want to go. And that can be in simply getting a book, like getting a book on how to start investing, getting a book on how to be more present, getting a book maybe on setting healthy boundaries, or even getting a book on postpartum nutrition, or getting a book on how to make healthier meals for the family when you're busy and don't have a lot of time, right? Whatever it is for you right now, really focus on that. And I would love to hear what are those things that do come up for you. If you want to share those with me after the replay is done and after you've done your journaling, drop it back in the comments. Or even if whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, you can't message people. I kind of wish that was a feature. YouTube, if you're watching this, that would be great. If that was like a bonus feature to be able to direct message your YouTubers, that would be cool. But if you find me on Facebook or Instagram, then let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear that. And you could drop them in the comments of this video and all of that. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed those 5 lessons. And so let me quickly recap what those lessons were from reading Proverbs 31:10. The very first lesson that we learned and discussed of the 5 was, you don't find a woman of character, you evolve into being a woman of character, right? Like recognizing who you are and what you need to do in order to grow and develop yourself in becoming that woman that you've always wanted and dreamed of being, right? So, number two is value and use what you have to pour back into yourself and your family. Like, a woman is nothing without her family and without the love of herself. And I feel like a lot of times, especially in today's day and age of the boss babes and mompreneurs, absolutely nothing wrong. Aspire and reach those goals, but sometimes those goals take precedence over the love that we have for ourselves and our own values as well as our family. So let's do our best to work on reprioritizing that and valuing the time that we need to pour back into ourselves and our family, so that way we can pour into other projects, other business partners, whatever, that way we could pour into them from a full cup. All right. Number three, recognize your value, discover your gifts, and develop your skills. And again, this is so important, focusing on yourself and saying, what do I have to offer? What am I great at? What do I want to get better at? This is something important for you to help you evolve and grow. Next, value your time and use it wisely. No more scrolling, or at least, use your digital well-being app to help you manage and lower how much time you're spending on social media. And also look at your schedule. Are you spending way more time hanging out with people and not as much on your project, or not as much on, you don't have any workout days planned out? Like, value your time and use it wisely for the things that mean the most to you in this season of life. And then last but not least, recognize what stage and season of your journey you're in and make sure you're being actively present in it. All right. So, and if anyone missed the journaling prompt, maybe you just caught it in. Here is the journaling prompt for the day: is what stage and season of your journey are you in? All right, you guys. So, if you guys have any questions, I'll just give you guys a few minutes. And as I'm scrolling through, you guys let me know if you have any questions. Hi, Nicolette. Long time no see, girl. And yeah, I don't see any questions on here, but I'm sure some questions may definitely very well pop up later, because it is prime time. A lot of people, if you're working a 9 to 5, you're at work. And so I'm sure you guys will be catching this on the replay, or in the weekend, or even late night after the kids have gone to sleep. No worries, whenever you get your time in, girl, as long as you get it, okay? So thank you guys so much for catching this live with me. And if you followed and watched on the replay and stayed on this whole time, I love you and appreciate you. And I cannot wait to connect with you guys later, but make sure you post #replay in the comments if you have any questions or just want to share what came up in your journaling. Make sure you post those down below in the comments. And if you are someone who is interested in maybe wanting to take your self-care journey further and interested in getting a life and wellness coach, you can also fill out my wellness consultation form, and maybe we can set up a time to figure out what of the programs that I offer would be great to you and talk more about your self-care journey. All right. So happy I wanted to say Women Empowerment Day, but happy International Women's Day. I hope you guys love this and really receive this message for today. And let's have a great rest of the day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.